These need to be removed immediately according to the bylaws.
I understand, but as you can see here, we followed every guideline in this packet.
The fifth bright orange ticket was wet and stuck to my front door like gum when I opened it to the cold morning air. It was 6:12 a.m. My breath fogged in front of me. Somewhere down the street, a trash truck beeped, and the smell of diesel mixed with damp asphalt. My coffee went from warm to bitter as I read the same words again. Parking violation. Grass height. Trash can in view. All checked. All wrong. I looked past my little blue sedan, parked exactly where the HOA map allowed, to the corner house. Her blinds flicked shut fast. Karen. Her porch light glared at me like a spotlight on a criminal by the time I got ready for work and opened the door again. Another ticket was folded and slid onto my mat. My heart pounded. 2 in one morning. My phone buzzed with a payment reminder from the HOA. Late fees now at $180. I laughed because if I did not, I was going to yell. This was no mistake. This was a hobby for her. Karen posted tickets on my porch 15 times. Then I pulled the lien, and this is how that stupid war really started. I tried to be normal at first. I went to the next HOA meeting on May 3rd, 2024. The room smelled like burnt coffee and old carpet. The fluorescent lights hummed. Karen sat at the front table with her little nameplate and a stack of papers like she was the mayor of a tiny, miserable town. I raised my hand. I said I had never missed a payment until the fees got crazy. I said the tickets were wrong. She did not even look at me. She just said, in this flat-board voice, that rules are rules and some residents struggle with compliance. When I turned to the neighbors, they looked down at their laps like kids in trouble. One guy mouthed sorry but said nothing. The board moved to the next item like I was a fly they had already swatted. The next week, I woke up to find 3 tickets taped in a perfect line on my porch rail. It was cold again. The metal felt like ice under my hand. My stomach turned every time I pulled into my own driveway. Line in the sand time. I was not going to shout or threaten. I promised myself I would only use the proper channels. So I started writing everything down. Timeline item 1, April 5th at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. That was when security showed up because my brother dropped off tools before work. I logged every ticket, every date, every tiny rule they pretended I broke. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. It started to look less like a neighbor fight and more like a case. When the security guard came a second time and quietly told me he was sorry, he gave me the key. He said, off the record, that all the calls came from one number. Karen's. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. That line from a website stuck in my head like a hook. I took a day off work. I went down to the city office where the air smelled like paper and printer ink. I asked for public records on HOA complaints from our street. The clerk rolled his chair back, typed for a while, and then brought over a thick folder. The file landed with 63 pages on the counter. Page after page, the same name. Her name. Same number. Same angry handwriting in the margins. She was not just after me. She was after everyone. Once I knew that, the plan snapped into focus. I checked the HOA bylaws online, going line by line at my kitchen table until midnight. I found my gold nugget. Board members had to be in good standing. No unpaid dues. No misuse of HOA resources. They broke their own rules when they let her use the security company like her personal watchdog. I pulled more records. Her house had 2 warnings from the city for an unpermitted shed and a broken fence. On top of that, the treasurer's report showed a weird gap, $390, labeled administrative follow-up on complaints. Guess whose complaints? The bylaws said repeated unpaid penalties could become a lien. It did not say it only worked on regular residents. The payoff came at the next open meeting. I walked in with my binder under my arm. My neighbor Mia followed with her phone already set to record. A couple of teens leaned against the wall, cameras ready. I waited until the boring stuff was over. Then I asked for the floor. Karen tried to shut it down, but the rules she loved so much said any member could present a concern. So I did. I laid the binder on the table and slid out the pages. Complaint logs. Security call sheets. Photos of her own broken fence leaning like a drunk. I read one line slow, then another. Her face went from pink to white. When I dropped the city notice about misuse of services, the room buzzed and chairs squeaked. One guy near the back laughed out loud. That night, the group chat lit up. Mia posted the clip with a caption, and it bounced around the neighborhood in minutes. People commented things they were too afraid to say before. Finally, someone said something. Guess the ticket queen got ticketed. By morning, the video had a few thousand views after some cousin threw it on a local page. The HOA inbox filled with emails. I knew because the sleepy secretary showed me on his phone in the lobby. Then the city inspector called for a follow-up. He wanted to talk not to me, but to the board. For once, I got to sip my coffee without feeling sick. 2 weeks later, the board held a special session. No coffee, no cookies, all business. The HOA lawyer dialed in on speaker. The room was so quiet I could hear the hum of the air conditioner. He went through the evidence in a calm, heavy voice. False complaints, selective enforcement, misuse of funds. He said the board had to remove any member who was not in good standing. That meant Karen. He also said the HOA had the right, and maybe the duty, to recover the wasted money by attaching the amount as a lien on the responsible property if it was approved by vote. When he said her address, she finally spoke. She said, "This is a joke, you cannot do that." The lawyer just replied that actually, they could. The vote was not close. 5-1. Her own husband on the board kept his head down and voted yes. The next week, a certified letter went out. Official notice. Until she paid back the $390, plus new penalties, there would be a lien recorded against her house. No yelling. No slammed doors. Just paperwork. Quiet and heavy, like a door closing in slow motion. After that, the orange ticket stopped. No more early morning beeping golf cart from the security guys at my driveway. Kids chalked big crooked rainbows on the sidewalk, and nobody complained. Neighbors started saying hi again. One brought me coffee one Saturday and said, "Thanks for taking the hit for us." I said I just finally read the rules better than she did. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.